Hi, and welcome to the Test Chat Community YouTube channel. And you're with your host, Brijesh Dev. Well, it's a funny coincidence that a few days ago, when I was looking out for my next guest and I was able to reach out to him, he reached out to me before that. And I appeared on his podcast even before I could actually think of inviting him. Today, for me, the tables have turned and I have the opportunity of asking some really nasty questions. No, I'm just kidding. Well, the guest on my show today is none other than the fabulous podcast host and a super tester, Gandharv Madan. Welcome to the show, Gandharv.
Thank you so much for having me, Brijesh. It's a pleasure to be a part of your podcast show, that is the Tested Community. And for me, every person has golden date, but for me, it's a diamond date for me. That is 22nd of August, 2022. So it's a diamond date for me, I must say.
You are being super kind. Well, as I was speaking in my introduction, so I have listed out some speakers and I'm reaching out to them from time to time. But it so happened that you reached out to me before I could reach out to you. And so things would have anyways happened. I would have anyways invited you. Now, what has got my attention, and we are going to be speaking about that in detail, is the fact that you are a tester, you are doing well in your career, and as the world knows you, you are a Salesforce testing guy, which means that you are definitely working with Salesforce. So that gives me an opportunity of asking you some questions related to that. Plus, you have a side hustle, which is a podcast, and you're doing quite well in that as well. So I wanted to understand your perspective on how you do so well in testing and have a side hustle and do well in that as well. So this is more of sort of an interaction where I would like people to understand that, along with following or rather doing well at your own job, there are other things also where you could excel and how you can keep a balance between that. So to me, you are an inspiration, Gandharv, and I'm sure to many others as well, you are an inspiration.
True. So, as you are talking about side hustle, and currently I'm doing a 9 to 5 job, testing is running side by side, But Salesforce Testing Guy, how Salesforce Testing Guy was born actually. I must say it is a golden date, 26th of January 2022, where, I thought what actually I am doing in order to giving back to the community, adding some value in the testing ecosystem. The reason to create this channel was the base at that moment in time. At an initial level of 4 months, I have not done anything, just focus on R&D, like how I can identify all those points where I can add the value in terms of any mechanism, whether a tutorial mechanism or learning mechanism, so on and so forth. But I personally found one mechanism that makes a bit difference from other things. That is podcast. My Salesforce testing guy that is displayed over there. For me, personal branding plays a very vital role in your life. For example, if any individual who don't know me, like who is Gandharv Madan, he or she goes to the internet and search like Gandharv Madan. There are n number of Gandharv Madans will be displayed at that moment in time in terms of all images, videos, so on and so forth. But if a person search Salesforce testing guy, at that moment in time, one thing that notates me, that is my logo and my picture. So this is the primary reason to create a side hustle parallelly. Before that, I just want, there are so many things right now with the Salesforce testing guy has been happening in the last few days also. Within a duration of 4 months, I must say, I have recorded more than 80 plus podcasts with different testing and corporate
Wow.
professionals.
Wow.
And 80 different topics. And in one podcast, I have around, you can say that 10 questions on an average. and for every guest, I have different set of questions. So you can multiply 80 cross 10. I have uploaded more than 800 types of queries at that moment in time. And this is just a starting. And one major thing that I personally believe from my side, like hustle is the one, or zeal to learn is the thing that makes you a different from other perception. There are n number of persons who are in the sales for testing. For example, if there are countable nature quantity is equal to 10, out of 5 or 6 in the field of in the field of sales for testing, but no one has better insight about like how to start a career in the field of sales for testing. I'm not talking about the software testing, I'm talking about the sales for testing, because ST does not mean software testing. ST also means sales for testing also in the initial level. So I am giving a platform to all those individuals also who are born to express, not to impress. So that is why within 80, I must say, guests, out of 25% are all those guests who don't have any point to express in any other platform like YouTube or blogs. They love to write blogs, but they have n number of things to say, but they don't have a platform. So they are using my platform, and it is totally nishul, you can say that, or totally free. So I'm enjoying that. And in every learning, or you can say that in every podcast, I got to learn n number of things from n number of individuals. Because even I have remember from 1 to 80 number with my first podcast and the last my 80 number podcast. So each individual have different aspect about software testing. Each person have different journey. But the thing is how I can build an umbrella where an experienced older person can share their stories in the form of a podcast, so that it will directly help out all those freshers who just want to start their career in the field of sales for testing or software testing. Because sales for testing is something at an initial level everyone understand, like testing is something we can do, learn it from different websites, like whether it is guru99.com, softwaretestingmaterial.com, softwaretestingtimes.com, so on and so forth. But what about Salesforce? Because in order to make an entry in the field of Salesforce testing, you must have an awareness of both the things in a very broad way. First one, you must have a better insight about like what is actually Salesforce, what is testing, and why we need testing in Salesforce. So this is the thing that I'm currently working upon. So this is a side hustle that motivates me ki, doing something different in a best possible way, in an organic way. So this is a side hustle according to my perception that I'm currently doing, and I love to do it. And let's see what happens next.
That enthusiasm you have in your voice explains everything, Gandharv. And I must say that I have been very, very impressed by your podcast. Okay, yeah, 80 is a very good number, but I must also say that it's not just the quantity, but the quality of your podcast is fantastic. Okay, I have loved to listen to all the episodes that I have, viewed so far. Not all of them, okay, but most of them, okay. And I tend to watch them end to end, not take any breaks in between. Of course, there may be an ad break or something like that, thanks to YouTube. But apart from that, I don't like to break it up. I listen to them, and you're absolutely right. Something in common. I also believe that every tester has a journey, and every journey is unique, and that is why in TesterSpeak I like to bring testers from different regions, different backgrounds, okay, who have had different experiences to share, and trying to focus on getting the best out of all the testers is what I try to do. I see a similar thing in your podcast as well, and that is what gives me that extra bit of how should you say, that uh, the opportunity to like you more, okay, because there is this uncanny similarity between our ideas about the podcast. But again, I'm very impressed with the way you do, and I wish you doing more and more episodes. 100 is coming up soon, so I'll look forward to that. uh, but having said that, let's go right to the beginning. Okay, where it all began. How did you get started with testing?
Okay, so my journey, before I start my journey in the field of software testing, I just wanted to go through to my, first my education qualification first.
Please, please.
Because testing as a subject, I personally claim it is not at all a theoretical subject, first of all.
Mhm.
The lessons that we learn on testing has having different aspects. If we talk about first, development having languages like starting from C, C++, Java, Python, and so on. But in terms of if we are talking about the testing types, we have 100 types of testing,
Mhm.
starting from alpha, beta, gamma, monkey, exploratory, so on and so forth. So you can say that testing motivates me, and this is the primary reason to start my career in the field of software testing. So my journey starts from the day I must say, like I have done my BCA from Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Management and Research,
Mhm.
and I have done my MCA from Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management and Research. So in that I am and I was a topper in both MCA as well as BCA, and I am O level as well as A level certified from the Government of India, which includes software testing as one of the subject at that moment in time. So that really motivates me that so why should we I can start my career in the field of software testing. So
Right.
I got placed from my college in a company whose name is JK Technosoft, where I got placed as a Progress 4GL developer. But after entering into the organization and got to know about like what is actually Progress 4GL, I don't have a penny idea about like what is actually the thing is, because everyone having answer of why, but the answer is of how, it is very difficult to find out. So that is why, and I believe in one thing that even if you take a risk at an initial level, na, you will definitely have some good rhythm in your upcoming years, and your future have a very bright at that moment in time, because you have a power to take risk. So I took a risk at that moment in time, and after joining JKT and leaving that company within a duration of, you can say that, 8 days. And after 8 days, I applied for the opportunities of software testing. Then I got multiple offers from different companies, but I choose at that company where no tester is there, because I just want to explore myself more, because testing is a kind of a thing which has no limits. That is why I chose one company, and where I started my career as a software tester, junior software tester, I can say, where no one has mentored me. Uh, I have to work with 4 developers. One is of iOS, one is of website, one is of Android, and one is of web app. And I'm the single tester over there. And parallelly, I'm doing here digital marketing also, because zeal to learn is also one thing that really motivates me, because 9 to 5 is everyone doing, but what about else? But something that motivates me, testing is one of the area where where we have a very very bright future. So after joining that particular company, I switched to one of the leading service based company of Noida, and I just recently completed my 3 years in the field of software testing, where I have worked with one of the leading product based organization, which is the 106 unicorn also, that is uploaded on LinkedIn, that whose name is Ship Rocket. I was a part of that organization also, and I was very blessed, because something the companies are contributing to the GDP also, while becoming unicorn. And within a duration of 3 years and 4 months, I got to know n number of things about testing. First of all, like networking is one of the key that really motivates me, because the testing is one of the area where you have n number of opportunities and n number of things to apply the opportunities on your uh, career. So this is the thing where I have started my career in the field of software testing, and within that particular duration, so many blogs have has been published by me on different websites. Uh, one more thing that I just wanted to add in that particular scenario, within a duration of 3 years and 4 months, I am leading a team right now in a service-based organization, and that is I am doing volunteering. No, my organization is not allowing me to give me a team, but if the leadership is not in you at an initial level, then there is no point to adopt that particular leadership in the future years. Because a leader, according to my definition, is like, I believe in one quote, like a leader is the one who knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. and this is the right time to implement that particular thing. And as far as my technological concern is there or domain concern is there, my all projects are live, and I have a, you can say that, a proud moment for me, because n number of data is there. And I as I believe in one more quote, like a tester is the one who is responsible for boosting the confidence in the software. And yes, I have boosted confidence in few of the software, and that are working very fine. And within a duration of 3 years, I have worked with product as well as service. And currently I'm working with one of the leading service-based organization, where I'm responsible for handling the Salesforce-based projects also. And so this is a bit about me, like how I have started my journey in the field of software testing, which is a very beautiful job. I always say in all my conversation.
I really like that answer. You know, you made a very interesting point at the start of your answer, the previous answer, and you said, you know, testing is more of a practical thing to learn than theory. Uh, you know, in the formal education system that we have, not just in India but worldwide,
True.
testing doesn't find that place it should find, right?
True.
So, what is your thought about that? Because if you look at our engineering courses today, at least if I take, say, for example, the curriculum of Mumbai University,
Okay.
okay, just for an example, they have software testing as a small elective subject in probably the 7th or the 8th semester, which is in the final year. So people can easily opt in or opt out of that. And a lot of people who get into computer sciences or information technology easily opt out of it. They don't take it up. And then you get to hear things, oh, you know what? I want to become a developer. I don't want to become a tester. Because people don't invest their time and energy to learn it. Also because it is not formally implemented as a proper regular subject. It is given as a choice, so people choose to skip it. Okay, this is on one side of the spectrum. Then there is another side of the spectrum where I know at least 3 people who have done their PhD
in testing.
In testing. Okay, I know at least 3 people.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the big divide, that formally when people are getting their bachelor's or master's, that window of opportunity is not there. But people later realize, oh, there is so much to do. I could probably do a PhD because, like you said, it is all practical and not just theory, right? So,
Yeah.
what is your take on this, and how do you think we can turn things around?
True. First of all, creating an awareness which has no boundaries. I believe in one thing, because awareness has no limits. It is totally depending upon the approach that you are following in order to aware the individual. For example, yes, elective means optional, and optional means I have a choice to skip. If we make this particular term as compulsory, then there is no chance to skip that particular subject. So this is the one thing that we can do. And as far as I am talking about from the perception of formal Indian education system, I don't have any idea about like international university, what all are they doing in terms of creating awareness about the software testing. Yes, in Indian education, if I'm talking about the Delhi universities courses or IP university courses which are available in Delhi, they have a subject of testing, but they treat it as a theoretical subject. The thing is, and why they are treating this as a theoretical subject, because they don't have a penny idea about like what is the future of software testing. Because in curriculum it is not at all written that what is the future of software testing, because they are mainly focused on the development side. I'm not saying they are more focused on the digital marketing side, business analyst side, product management, and so on and so forth. Testing is a, for them there is you can say that one Hindi quote that I answered by so many individuals is like, डेवलपमेंट नहीं हुआ तो टेस्टिंग कर लेंगे. This is the thing that we have to make sure we have to break this thing, because testing is no more a second choice and testing is not a theoretical subject. Why? Because in order to create the awareness, we have to understand like what we are actually written in the, or what we are including in the curriculum, in the syllabus. We have to make sure we have to mention all those topics that are directly used in the software industry. If we are writing that testing was born in this year, and testing means finding bugs, these are the features of any testers, these are the roles and responsibilities of any tester in any organization, automatically the curriculum makes me boring right now by telling all these things. So how students should motivate by them? We can include topics like for example, one of the topic that we can include, like what is boundary value analysis technique. We can make a practical session for them. This is the thing we can do. We can let them know, students at an initial level, like bug bounty is also one of the program that where they can grow up their career. We have n number of testings. Like I already told you, like 100 types of testing is there. Maybe I'm wrong, more than 100 types of testing will be there. But the thing is, in books, only three types of testing is there: functional testing, non-functional, and the third one is maintenance testing. I don't know what is actually maintenance testing throughout my journey, to be very frank. But if we are providing the wrong information to the students, then there is no use of software testing. And we have to let them know to the students in the at an university level, like for development you have lead code, code chef, so on and so forth. But in order to learn the testing, there are n number of websites are there, because we have to let them know like use of internet as much as possible. Because I personally believe, my definition of internet is that internet an ocean of information.
True.
And if you are an IT professional, you have to be updated. Because one thing that demotivates the student is that because of the code structure. If we are not including any type of practical at an initial level, then there is no use. That is why they also consider testing as a second option. This is the thing. Now the question is how we can create awareness. There are n number of ways that currently I am doing in order to create the awareness. I just wanted to share all those points. First of all, catch up calls. Catch up call with the university students at free of cost. Because there for students, time they have very rich in terms of their time. They are not rich in terms of money, because for them time is the thing that is a byproduct, I personally believe. One major thing, for example, my college name is SalesforceTesting Guy, and I was the alumni of that particular college, and currently I am having 3+ years in the field of software testing, and one person is there whose name is do it for yourself, and he don't have any idea about like what is actually Salesforce testing. And we have to consider like you are the placement cell coordinator or alumni cell coordinator. So it's your responsibility as a college wise. You are the one who is responsible for making a relationship between Gandharv Madan, that is Salesforce testing guy, and this person. Do it for yourself. We can conduct an alumni session to let them know like what all practices are currently working or currently running in the software testing industry. Because for development n number of workshops are there, but for testing no one is there. We have to let them know like software testing has a very bright future. We don't have to depend on the functionality, we don't have to depend on the theoretical part. We have to make sure one thing: if you are practical na, you can do anything. If you think you are a theoretical person, if you are earning 1 crore na, then there is no use, because you are not at all adding a value in something. For example, if you are a developer, you don't know how to express yourself, then there is no use. If you are a tester, if you don't know how to express yourself, you are nothing. But at an initial level, as a fresher, if a person guides you in a best possible way and let them know you like what is actually software testing or software development or business analyst, you can do anything. Because at that moment in time, as a fresher, or as I am not using the word here fresher, I am using the word beginner, because beginner is the word that really motivates them. As a beginner, what they are doing, because questioning is the thing that makes them stronger, more stronger. Because if they ask right questions in a right particular way, they directly motivates what I have to do or what I don't have to do at an initial level. And this is the way we can create awareness. Although n number of ways are there, we can conduct through workshops via institution and so on and so forth, but they all are paid. But at an initial level, in order to save the cost, we can use these particular mechanisms as per my experience and knowledge that currently I am using. So according to me, there is no as such there is as such no agenda in the field of, you can say that software testing is not a theoretical subject. It depends on the capability and the questioning skills you have that you want to perform in order to learn the software testing. And I believe in one quote, and I just wanted to add one more quote over there, like, first learn, because if you remove L, earn is the one that makes your life easier. So learning is the first step, is always take a risk at an initial level and consistent. These are the things that makes a beginner more stronger. And in IT companies, in terms of software testing, they have a one query. I just wanted to highlight that particular point also. He like, my English is not strong. Can I make entry in the IT field or software testing field? You know, so this is the thing that we can cover at an initial level while interacting with the alumni, because alumni are the one whose one output is the second input for any beginner. So this is the way I personally believe that we can use this particular approach in order to improve the testing ecosystem or testing as a subject in terms of formal education, especially in India. That's my thoughts on that particular point.
I quite like your perspective, Gandharv, and I feel, if ever there is a Bachelor of Test Engineering degree,
Yes,
then you'll be the happiest person.
very happy.
All right. So thank you for that perspective. That was really good. Now I want to talk to you about Salesforce. Okay. So you, if I am not wrong, it would be fair to say that out of all the things that you've played around with in your career so far, you are quite comfortable with Salesforce. Salesforce is your kind of strength. Yeah.
Yes.
So it is kind of a specialization for you to
Yes.
test Salesforce application, or so. And this question is purely for people who are trying to learn different aspects of testing and upskilling. People talk about upskilling. And the moment people talk about upskilling, the antenna shoots up like this. People start thinking automation. I want to tell people, show your example, and tell people that, getting a specialization in one particular niche area is also a good way of upskilling. What is your take? What is your advice to people who want to get upskilled or get sort of a specialization?
Okay. First of all, Salesforce testing is a very niche market, to be very frank. And Salesforce is just like a 1995 in Java, to be very frank.
Early days, yeah.
Yes. Salesforce market is very, very big. There is no doubt about that. And testing in Salesforce, a thing like Sone pe Suhaga, that we can use this term here. Like in Salesforce testing, first of all, for a beginner level, I must say, and for an initial level, or in that particular level, if a person wants to make sure or grow up their career or switch up their careers in the field of Salesforce testing, they have to identify, like, first of all, Salesforce and testing. Salesforce and testing both are two different words. Salesforce is different, testing is different. Salesforce plus testing equal to Salesforce testing. It means you must have a testing knowledge first of all, and you must have a knowledge of Salesforce. Like, like for example, my designation in my current organization is Salesforce tester is my designation. As a tester, I am doing testing. I am in the domain of Salesforce, so that is why Salesforce. Now, from where to learn Salesforce is a question mark always occur. So, in order to learn the Salesforce, you have to make sure that you must have or you can say that one thing like Trailhead. Trailhead is the website where you can start your journey in the field of Salesforce. It's just like at an university of Salesforce. It's an ocean of information which is totally and totally related to the Salesforce. There are n number of channels available in the market. If you search on YouTube Salesforce, you got to know around hundreds of channels. But a benchmark is you can say that introduced by Salesforce is Trailhead. You just have to sign up over there, create an account. It hardly take 2 minutes of your prestigious time if you are not so busy. So you can start with there. Here in Trailhead, line by line, you can complete the badges. On the basis of that, you earn the different points. And trail is there, trail mixes is there, trail badges are there. And every time you just complete badges, you just got one rank. Like from the major rank is like Ranger. If you completed 100 badges and you got 50,000 points, maybe 50,000 and more than 50,000 points, Salesforce give you one thing, that is you are right now a 1 crore ranger. It acts as a motivation for you that I am right now a ranger is there in the field of Salesforce. So this is the way you have to start your journey in the field of Salesforce first. And to be very frank, in Trailhead, there is nothing written about testing in Salesforce. You have to apply the experience, you have to apply the logical analytic skills as a tester, as a human being in the Salesforce testing. Salesforce testing is very, very different from your UI testing, web testing, Android, so on and so forth. Salesforce testing is a niche market for so many reasons, I must say. Everyone wants to change their job in the field of Salesforce testing. The reason is very clear. Because of monetary part, I can't consider monetary part as of now because every company has a different pay structure. So we can't question over there, what is actually going in terms of pay structure. But in terms of knowledge, but in terms of updation, in terms of releases, like Salesforce have different releases like summer release, winter release, spring release. Every 6 months, you got some new updates in the field of Salesforce. And as a tester, you have to be updated in terms of Salesforce testing. Now, upskilling yourself is one of the key if you want to survive in the information technology market. And Salesforce give you one thing. While if you are a registered user on Trailhead, you have a one notification button. If any new things come into the market, notification 1, notification 2 is going to be updated. So it's your responsibility as a Salesforce professional or as a corporate professional or as a Salesforce testing professional. You just click on the notification button and check it out. What is the new update? And this is the way, if you want to make sure, want to make an entry in the field of Salesforce testing, you have to be run a parallel thought process. First of all, learn Salesforce as well as applying the testing techniques that you are currently applying on the different domains, whether it is website or not, website, Android, and iOS. And one more thing, in Salesforce testing, there are so many other things that makes a different from the different domains. First of all, here reporting is also a bit different. Steps to reproduce is different. Here we are testing on one org. Here we are testing on sandbox. Here we are testing on production environment. Here everything is totally different. Here UI UX matters in a different way. Here error message occurs in different way. So this is the prime here performance testing. I don't think so in present here or not, because it totally runs on the your internet speed. So as such, there is no performance testing is needed in that particular area. But in terms of API testing, Salesforce provides you that you can perform API testing is there. In terms of front end, you can perform for front end testing. You can perform usability testing. You can perform smoke, sanity, and number of testing that you can perform in here. But here reporting is one of the things that makes this niche, and people don't have a penny idea about like how to start. So in order to start your career in the field of Salesforce testing, first learn Salesforce, then applying your testing technique, because no no single channel is there who is providing you the Salesforce testing idea. But I am on a mission to cover this particular market by using the mechanism of podcast in order to let them know, beginners, that this is one of the field which has a very, very bright future. So this is the way they can approach. So I personally believe that this is the way they can start their bright future in that particular field, which is very niche nowadays. I don't know about after 5 to 6 years, but right now this is a very niche market and very trending market. And you can say that very beautiful market, I personally believe, because this is the market that makes a sense, because here PRD is totally different. Use cases are totally different. Here, we can perform testing on packages, installed packages, uninstalled packages. Here we have to, in order to provide the access to somebody else, we have to list the IP for the same. So here approach is totally different. So this is the very niche market, and in order to make a good entry in that particular field, first learn Salesforce, then applying your testing techniques, then use the formula of Salesforce plus testing equal to Salesforce testing.
That was a very detailed answer. And I like the fact that you've also given an idea on Trailhead, which people can use and learn Salesforce. Now, for the audience, this is just an example of how you can get into something niche. Okay, similarly, for you, if you are interested in, say, for example, fintech, there are a lot of ways you can learn about fintech applications. If you want to get into healthcare, there are a lot of ways you can understand and learn things about healthcare.
True.
If you want to get into something like banking, there are a lot of ways of getting into banking. So this is just an example of what Gandharv has done, has gone through himself. And this is a great idea for the audience to
True.
adapt as a learning. So every time someone tells you, hey, to stay relevant, you have to upskill, you don't have to get scared, because not every time everything goes into the direction of automation and then you take a step back. First of all, automation is not bad, it is not scary. It is something that needs to be embraced. The more automation you do, the more efficient you get. So automation is something that needs to be embraced. However, on the other side, if you want to really upskill and want to know what other options do you have, this is one option. And thank you, Gandharv, for that detailed description about Salesforce. I'm sure a lot of listeners would think in this direction, and they'll start asking questions to you. So
Yes.
congratulations on the questions as well. You're going to get a lot of questions.
And one more thing I just wanted to add, in that particular answer. Salesforce is not just a CRM right now. It's a CRM, but it is not at all limited to a CRM. For different domain, it has cloud. For example, in order to manage the sales cloud. In order to manage marketing cloud. For health cloud is there. NGO and non-profit clouds are also there. Einstein Analytics is there. So it is totally depending upon the curiosity and how quick you are in order to learn something new. Trailhead is there because it is niche. I know that it is niche, but it is actually very broad in nature. So you can start your career by applying all those skills and upskill yourself by creating an account on Trailhead. Although n number of things are there, but I just wanted to let the audience know that please follow standard first and rest remaining ones.
No, I like that one as well, because I can tell you from my experience. Okay, my journey with Salesforce began when I was working with supply chain. Okay, and it was not just Salesforce; it was a combination of Salesforce and SAP and other stuff. So it was not limited to Salesforce that okay, you do this and you are done with it. Okay, and of course, me being a tester for over 2 decades, I had to, like you said, apply my thinking. How do I test this? Okay, and that's how I learned. Unfortunately, those days we did not have something like Trailhead to guide us, but it was more through experimentation and learning. I think, but now that you've mentioned, and now that you've clearly called out that internet is an ocean of knowledge, and you have to just dive in to learn. So that is something really nice. I like the way you put in some really encouraging words there. Love the energy that you bring in. Now, on similar lines, okay, I want to talk to you and try and understand. Okay, Salesforce testing is one piece. Okay, you also mentioned already that testing, is something that gives you that energy. And first, the person has to understand what testing is, then get into the things about Salesforce, and then combine the two, and then become strong. However, my question is, what is it that will make you stand out? Okay, now of course everybody is running. What is it that will make you stand out in a crowd of Salesforce testers? How do you become the best Salesforce tester?
Okay. So my answer in that particular question is that it depends on the you can say that identification of something new day by day. And as a tester, I am a tester by passion, not an accidental tester. For me, irrespective of the domain. For example, if here is not Salesforce, here maybe AWS, something else, but testing will be common. So as a tester, I can't limit myself for a domain purpose. One of the quality that makes a tester different from other is that while this point is told by Sachin Sharma, uh, one of the enabler of the test yet community, that in a team, if there are n number of individuals, like for example, there are 4 individuals, one is developer, second is business analyst, third is product owner, and the fourth one is tester. Everyone is wearing hat, but tester wear shoes. This is the thing, because as a tester, you don't have to be limit yourself, because as a tester, as a testing, if you have as a beginner, or you can, I always consider myself as a beginner, to be very frank. I always consider myself as a beginner, because if we search the definition of testing, there is a lot of difference between definition and meaning. First of all, we have to make sure that there is a difference between definition and meaning. So you have to identify one thing, that testing equal to boosting the confidence in the software, so that if a user is trying to use my product, they don't have to face any issue. That motivates me or stand out me from different perception. Although as a tester, I'm not saying like, n number of testers are there, hackathons are running day by day. How to be bit different from others is like how you are adding the value in the testing ecosystem, because everyone is doing 9 to 5. That is a very good thing. We are contributing towards the GDP. That is perfect. But what about all those individuals who don't have a penny idea about like how to start my career? What about all those individuals who have done MC and BTech and still they are working on a call center or an BPO, and they don't have any idea about like Salesforce testing, or testing is a very beautiful job where I can grew up my career? Because at an initial level, our formal education system, and I want to make sure a very bold statement in this particular podcast, we are very limited in our education system in terms of choosing the domain. To be very frank, like if in my class, when I passed out from in the year 2019, I got placed on the date 5th of November 2019. I was not at all happy because I got placed as a developer. I'm not saying developer is is not a good job. It is a good job, but you have to be a very curious interest where you want to apply your passion. Because if your passion equal to profession, you can do anything. I have two P's in my career: passion equal to profession. That's it. Because if I am living my passion into my profession and applying all those techniques that I personally believe that add some value in the testing ecosystem, there is a difference between happiness and satisfied. And for me, satisfied word have a very high weightage over happiness, because happiness makes you limited. Satisfaction does not make you a limited. And that's why I believe in one quote like, don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits. And I apply the same formula in my life. Although my experience is not so good, like 10 years, 11 years, I believe that this approach, or the way that I am talking by applying codes, changes me throughout the journey of COVID, because COVID has taught me a number of things. Because one thing that I mentioned over there, in order to stand out from different, is like I believe in one of the quote by Salim Khan. I in Hindi, if you allow me, may I say that?
Please go ahead.
yes, कि अगर आपको कोई दिक्कत हो रही है तो रो जाओ, किसी को बताओगे तो सौदा होगा. It means if you are facing problem, you are the one who is facing problem. Don't tell in to the audience that I am facing this problem, because someone is trying to help you out for their benefit. At that moment in time, there is no point of talk there. So, as a person, if you want to stand out from the different perspective, you don't have to limit yourself. You have to challenge yourself. Every day is a new day. Every second is a new learning. For example, just 1 week ago back, 12th of August 2022, I am the host, you are the guest. Now 22nd of August 2022, I am the guest, you are the host. I have not limited myself. But the behavior that you are delivering to the second person or a third person, it remains constant. Because, and one more thing, standout is the thing that makes you a long lasting run player. Why? Because if someone is going to search my name on internet, like for example, Gandharv Madan, you know, n number of Gandharv Madan is there, like Gandharv Sikri, Gandharv Madan, Gandharv Kumar, Gandharv Tendulkar, n numbers of things, present. But if a person search this particular three words, sales for testing guy, no one is there. That motivates me. Something that I am doing for the giving back to the community. I'm in a right direction. And one more thing, that why Salesforce testing guys stand out from different. One major thing that I want to highlight over there, because the reason I am guiding from last 7 years, and I'm doing it free of cost, and I will be doing it free of cost in future also, because I'm on a very simple mission, because I am targeting tier 3 college market, and in India we are very blessed, because if one audience is large, problem is so many large, and solutions are the one, we are the one who is responsible for delivering that particular solutions. I am raising the queries of all the students who don't have a have an confidence to ask something. I am act as a mediator here. So this is the thing that really motivates me. And one more thing, in India, mentorship or lack of mentorship, there is a difference between both the things. Mentorship makes your career bright, but lack of mentorship is a vice versa relation over there. So as a standout person, I am on a very simple mission, like how I can guide them or how I can suggest them by giving the positive as well as negative feedback. Why positive and negative? Because being a tester, I have to take care of both positive as well as negative scenarios.
Good one, good one. Okay, so we've spoken about your journey with podcasts and your side hustle and things like that. So a very pointed question at this point of time. Okay, what are the top 3 lessons you've
Okay.
learned from your podcast? Just 3.
Okay. Only 3. Okay.
Yes,
Although n
only
number
3.
of although I have
I
recorded.
know, I know you've done you've asked 800 plus questions, so you may have 800 plus lessons. But what
Yeah.
are the top 3?
Okay. First one is consistency is the key to success. Second one is your network is your net worth right now, being a part of 21st century. Because followers count is a byproduct thing of your network, and I don't consider followers count as a professional way, because LinkedIn is not an Instagram. I just wanted to highlight that particular point also here. And the third point that I have learned from the podcast is that you must have a zeal to learn. It does not matter if you have an experience of 3 years or 30 years.
Absolutely.
So this is the thing, the third thing, I must say, as of now, as per my experience and perception, zeal to learn is, that boosts my confidence every time I interact with unknown users. So these are the 3 things as of now.
Absolutely. No, I wanted it to keep it to that point because I have a few more questions and we are tight on time, and that's the reason. Okay. So I know the conversation is very serious, but I wanted to break the pattern, get into a little fun segment, rapid fire. Okay. So few questions. for you, but you don't get more than 5 seconds to think. Okay, you have to answer within 5 seconds. And if it is a multiple choice question, then you have to tell me the reason for your choice. Okay. So the first question is, the first question is, given the choice between choosing your favorite movie or your favorite podcast show that you love watching, which one would you choose and why?
Podcast with Gaurav Khurana. The reason is very clear because the kind of patience they have shown over the podcast by applying the different analogies from knife example to gun example, that really motivates me. And the thing is, they are very, very patient in terms of applying the knowledge in a right direction.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
Did I tell you? Did I tell you that is my favorite episode as well on your podcast? Okay, I mean, Gaurav, if you're watching this, you should know that I have just loved the episode, and Gaurav is one guy I love talking to. Okay, he's always full of energy, full of passion, shows a lot of great analogies, great examples. It's always fun talking to him. And if you observe, he makes very, very interesting videos. And if you have gone to his channel and looked at his videos, they are so informative. I mean, you can boost your productivity just by watching his videos. And following whatever he's trying to show you. That's excellent. Okay. So my next question for you. Okay. Apart from doing podcasts and testing, what does Gandharv love doing the most?
You can say that I am a very extrovert person. I am associated with a number of communities outside the professional network. I love to do programs, all those that motivates, or for example, I am on a very single initiative. I am running my club. I don't reveal the name of that particular club, where I am setting a bench, setting an stage for all those persons who are in 12th or 11th class and they want to pursue their career in the field of software testing. Other than that, I am giving them a platform where they can show scale up their career. So this is the thing that I am right now doing, and I can't reveal the name as of now because it's a bit confidential. But definitely,
that's absolutely fine. I mean, we'll all come to know when you actually reveal it. So I'll let the suspense remain on that. Okay, and now coming back to some of the serious questions that we had.
Okay.
So every time in every podcast, I ask my guests, what are the messages that you have got for the younger lot, the freshers or the beginners? I have got a different question for you.
Okay.
What are the messages you would like to give to the leaders of the industry?
Okay. In that particular scenarios, it depends on the complexity structure of the organization that they are looking.
Okay, let's say for the benefit of this discussion, the leaders are willing to listen to you. Then what will be your points?
So my points will be like, first of all, about the notice period one. The notice period structure that currently organizations are using, or so we can work on that particular. They can work on that particular points. Other than that, the approach of testing plays a very vital role, and it has been immensely changes during the before COVID and after COVID. So they can work it upon on that particular domain. Other than that, how to make sure that their team should be more flexible irrespective of the domain while in the field of software testing. So majorly these are the three things that as a person, my message for all those leaders who are in that particular market.
Okay, excellent. Well, and now coming to the last question that I have for you. So you've given very strong messages for the testers, how to skill up, how to have a side hustle, how to learn, uh, especially for Salesforce and stuff like that. Now, the question that I want to ask you is, if Gandharv Madan was not doing testing or not, pursuing a career in testing, what else would he be doing?
Answer is very simple: digital marketing.
You were like ready, like a rapid fire. Why digital marketing?
Because I love to do it, and parallelly I'm learning it and doing it from last 3 years. And this is a side hustle, but which I have not showcased till now. But this point is also revealed at that point in time. Love to do digital marketing because being a part of 21st century where every individual needs a personal portfolio, and in order to come out from the competition, you must have to apply the digital marketing technique. SEO is the one. Paid campaigns are there, so digital marketing is an umbrella which provides all those services, and I love to do that.
No, excellent, Gandharv. No, I like it because digital marketing is quite close to my heart as well, and I do a little bit of that myself. So again, another common thread.
Yes.
Well, Gandharv, fantastic talking to you today. I have really enjoyed this conversation. I really love the energy that you have. Some great messages for the testers. I like your way of thinking. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of your podcast. Keep it going. Do more episodes. Okay, don't stop at 100 or 200. May you go to 1,000 episodes or more. Okay, I want to congratulate you for doing such a fantastic job with your podcast. Continue that, and we will definitely speak more often. And obviously, this is just the beginning of our conversations.
Yes.
We will have more podcasts and more discussions like this.
And thank you so much, first of all, Brijesh, for giving me the golden opportunity, I must say, because a right platform to express your experience and perception about what I am thinking about the software testing industry, and strong messages to all those freshers also who have just want to start their career in the field of software testing, and about leaders. And if I'm not a Salesforce testing guy, maybe I'm a digital marketing, so on and so forth points we have discussed over there. And I must say thank you so much once again for giving me this opportunity to interact with you. It means a lot.
I loved the discussion, Gandharv. Thank you. It was a real pleasure hosting you. Well, guys, so this is a wrap on this particular episode. I will catch you on another episode of TesterSpeak really soon with another guest. If you want to appear on TesterSpeak, please let me know. Or if you have any recommendation for a guest for TesterSpeak, then also let me know. Until the next episode, see you. Take care of yourself.